3 years after Jonathan Kuminga was selected in the lottery of the 2021 NBA draft, it looks like the vaunted Warriors core might finally have their athletic centerpiece. In this film review, we're covering how Jonathan Kuminga is exploiting the spacing advantages of playing with Steph and Klay, how he's reading passing lanes, and how he's finally reliably using his athleticism to his advantage. So, having Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on your team is a luxury for athletic rim runners, in that the Splash Brothers nearly always draw two defenders off of their screening actions. One ways the Warriors have exploited this is by using inverted screens, where the guard sets a screen for an attacking big or wing. In this baseline out of bounds play, Klay is going to set a great back screen for Kuminga that catches both Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo off guard, but also demonstrates the lack of willingness that many defenders have to help off of Steph and Klay. Look how long Miles McBride and Dante are both staying with Steph as the inbounder and Klay as this back screen setter, which allows Kuminga to have all of this space to get an easy bucket. Especially when you're dealing with someone as explosive as Kuminga, taking advantage of those seconds is paramount. The Warriors are pretty cognizant of how they can generate matchups and downhill momentum for Kuminga with their shooters. With Steph posted up in this strong side corner, you can be pretty sure that Austin Reeves is not helping off of him no matter what. TJD is going to come clear weak side to free up this space for Jonathan Kuminga. And at the same time, Klay is going to cut across to come set this cross screen for Kuminga. And in a situation like this, there's rarely going to, if ever, be help from Steph or Klay's man. You notice that LeBron James is staying relatively attached to Klay. Austin Reeves is not leaving Steph. And if either of them did stunt or overhelp, you can be pretty sure that a pass like this is going to be made. But when you have a super athlete like Kuminga with all of this downhill momentum and Taurean Prince with his feet planted earlier, these downhill rim attacks are not only favorable, but usually lead to either a bucket or a foul. So let's look again at the chaos that ensues whenever you have to manage both the Splash Brothers and Kuminga at the same time. Steph spends some time here trying to find a shot. He's deterred by an early double, but you'll notice that the Lakers have essentially dared the Warriors to try and create with Draymond instead. Notice that he's been left wide open in this weak side. The Lakers would much rather have him, especially with only a minute 12 left on the clock, to try and generate offense than have their defenders match up one-on-one or allow Steph and Klay to generate easy shots for the Warriors. So when Steph makes this retreat back up here, notice how high Rui Hachimura is playing him. This is such a luxury for the Warriors because, look, Steph is maybe 30 feet from the basket, and he's still being really tightly guarded by Rui Hachimura, and Taurean Prince is on his way up here to help. Now, D'Angelo Russell, who's sitting at the wing with Klay, is definitely not helping off of Klay either. So the Warriors essentially have this really beautiful 3-on-2 here, where Austin Reeves is kind of your only help guy if Draymond Green makes any sort of attack. And because Steph is able to make this pretty easy delivery, and because Draymond Green is an excellent passer, it's pretty much left to only Austin Reeves and LeBron to stop whatever 3-on-2 action comes down here because Hachimura, Taurean Prince, and D'Lo are set up so high managing Steph and Klay. Kuminga sees this, and with Austin Reeves' head turned, he makes an easy read, a great back cut, and puts the game out of reach. So really similar to the last play, I'm going to ask the same question. What happens to the opposing team's defensive coverages when Steph and Klay are on the floor? Well, one of them usually draws two, and one of them is usually pretty tightly face guarded. In this example, TJD is going to come set this high ball screen for Steph Curry. Of course, Steph is going to draw 2. TJD is going to slip out. And again, we have a similar 3-on-2 to the previous possession, where Steph is basically attached to 2 defenders. These guys aren't leaving him. You can see LaRavia in the corner is not allowing Klay Thompson to get a wide open corner shot. So you essentially have TJD on this roll reading the option here. He can either go for a layup, he can look for Klay or Steph on the perimeter if they manage to get open. But what happens, similar to the last play, is that Kuminga makes a great read here. He sees Santi Aldama, has his attention on TJD, has his head turned. He makes a pretty simple back cut and generates a really easy bucket for the Warriors. One of Jonathan Kuminga's strengths is as an extremely intimidating transition athlete, but defensively, one of the only ways to bring that about is by creating steals. While we have gifted on-ball defenders like GP2 and Draymond who can make great reads in passing lanes and get steals, Kuminga's also done a great job in the past few games generating these opportunities for himself. Now, let's look at this possession where Miles McBride is going to come set this exit screen to allow Dante DiVincenzo to run into this corner, into the wing, and generate a 3-point shot. But Kuminga sees pretty early that this is about to happen. He's going to shoot the gap and immediately start running in transition. Look how, after that great save, he still stays active and manages to stay in the possession and eventually get this save. That's something you love to see with an athlete like Kuminga. Again, watch Kuminga recognize that this pass is coming early. Gigi Jackson is going to come set this pin down screen to allow Aldama to run off of it. But not only does Kuminga clearly see that is about to happen, he immediately jumps that, and boom, we're already out in transition. There's so few athletes in the league that can keep up with Kuminga, meaning that these opportunities are so valuable. Now, with these last clips, I don't want to spend time drawing X's and O's. Instead, I think we should showcase how the Giannisification of Kuminga is opening up new doors for the Warriors. It's been a weird season. There's been suspensions, clutch losses, injuries, and it's not even entirely clear if the Warriors will make the playoffs. But when we discuss scary transition scorers like Giannis Antetokounmpo, what we're talking about is the effortless way they run the floor, how they exploit slight advantages like a planted foot, how their vertical talents create a new dimension for their offense, and how unstoppable they seem to be even in crowded lanes. Jonathan Kuminga's not perfect, he's not Giannis, and he certainly has a way to go, but something that's become clear is that Jonathan Kuminga has finally found a way to harness his raw athletic talents within the Warriors system. He's making better on-ball decisions, more opportune cuts, is leveraging his speed and size with reliability, and has found a magic pairing with Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe for more reviews just like this.